Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So guys, today in this video mainly we are going to be discussing about the transportation of gases in our body. In the previous video we discussed about the mechanisms of breathing in humans. So if you haven't checked out the previous video, please do click the link in the description below and please do watch the video till the end and to get a better understanding of this video. So guys, if you are new to this channel, I would like to introduce myself. I am Laisha Kohli and I am here to educate, motivate and analyze a few things related to education. So guys, in the previous video I had asked a bonus question. The question was, what is vital capacity and what is the significance of vital capacity? The correct answer was given by yeah whatever. So I really appreciate your hard work and I'm looking forward to get more answers from you in the next video. So guys, please like, share and subscribe to my video. Also comment down below if you have any doubt regarding any topic of this chapter. Also guys, thank you so much for completing the aim on the previous video. We aimed for 15 likes on the previous video and as promised I will link the notes in the description below. On this video we aim for 17 likes. Please do not forget to turn on the post notification bells. Without any further ado, let's move right into the video. Guys, in this video basically we are going to be discussing about the exchange of gases. How are the gases exchanged in the human body? Where does this exchange take place in the human body? So first, as we all know, alveoli are the primary sites of exchange of gases. The exchange of gases mainly takes place at the alveoli and in the tissues. So the exchange of the gases takes place in the alveoli and between the blood and the tissues. Now, oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged by simple diffusion, mainly based on three factors, that is pressure gradient or concentration gradient, solubility of gases and the thickness of the membrane. So this exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide from blood to alveoli and from blood to tissues mainly take place depending on three factors, that is pressure or concentration gradient, solubility of gases and thickness of the membrane. So before we move further, I would just like to tell you that solubility of carbon dioxide is 20 to 25% more than the solubility of oxygen. And when we refer to the point thickness of the membrane should be very thin so that the diffusion can take place easily. So here the thickness of the membrane is very thin. The next point that we need to learn about before moving further is the partial pressure. What is partial pressure? Partial pressure is basically the pressure contributed by an individual gas in a mixture of gases. So just consider that there are a mixture of gases and the pressure contributed by one of the gas in that mixture of gases is known as partial pressure. So partial pressure of oxygen is basically represented by PO2 and partial pressure of carbon dioxide is represented by PCO2. As I said before, the solubility of carbon dioxide is 20 to 25% higher than that of oxygen. Therefore, the amount of carbon dioxide that is diffusing per unit difference is much more than that of oxygen. So more carbon dioxide will diffuse in our body. So the diffusion membrane, that is the alveoli, is basically made up of three layers. These three layers are the thin squamous epithelium of the alveoli, the endothelium of the alveoli capillaries and the basement substance between them. So first is the thin squamous epithelium, then comes the endothelium, and in between these two layers we have the basement substance. So guys, the total thickness of this membrane is less than a millimeter and all the conditions in our body are favorable for the diffusion of oxygen. They are not favorable for the diffusion of carbon dioxide because oxygen is the main necessity of the body. So all the factors in our body are favorable for the diffusion of oxygen and not for that of carbon dioxide. So the next topic we are going to be discussing about is the transportation of gases. So blood is the medium for transportation of gases, 97% of oxygen is transported by the RBCs and 3% of oxygen is transported in dissolved forms by plasma. So this is how oxygen is transported in our body. Now coming to carbon dioxide, 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide is transported by RBCs, 70% is carried as bicarbonate, and 7% is carried by plasma in dissolved state. So guys, this transportation of gases, the transportation of oxygen and the transportation of carbon dioxide, this is a very important part and can be asked in your NEET exam. So I would recommend to by heart these, the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide, so that if a question comes in NEET, it will be easier for you guys to answer. Now coming to the transportation of oxygen. So before we move into the transportation of oxygen, we must know what is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is basically a red colored iron containing pigment present in the RBCs, and hemoglobin is represented by HB. As we all know, hemoglobin is only responsible for providing the red color in the blood. So how is this oxygen transported in our body? The oxygen can bind hemoglobin in a reversible manner to form oxyhemoglobin. This right here, oxyhemoglobin, is a very important point, so please do remember it. So how is oxygen transported in our body? Oxygen binds with hemoglobin in a reversible manner to form oxyhemoglobin. Now each hemoglobin molecule can carry 4 molecules of oxygen. So 4 molecules of oxygen can bind with 1 hemoglobin molecule. So now, how does this binding take place? This binding is basically associated with some of the factors in our body. Those factors are partial pressure of oxygen, that is PO2, partial pressure of carbon dioxide, that is PCO2, hydrogen ion concentration, and temperature. The oxygen binds with the hemoglobin in the alveoli because in the alveoli the partial pressure of oxygen is high, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is less, hydrogen ion concentration is less, and the temperature is less. All these conditions are favorable for the binding of oxygen with hemoglobin. So the oxygen binds with the hemoglobin in the alveoli. Whereas at the site of the tissues, the oxygen dissociates with the hemoglobin because in the tissues the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is more, the partial pressure of oxygen is less, hydrogen ion concentration is more, and the temperature is higher. So the oxygen dissociates with hemoglobin. So when the percentage saturation of hemoglobin is associated against a graph, we obtain a sigmoid curve. Why do we obtain a sigmoid curve? Because as I said earlier, the only 4 molecules of oxygen bind with 1 molecule of hemoglobin, and at a certain point the binding stops. So that is the reason why we obtain a sigmoid curve. So this sigmoid curve is also known as the oxygen dissociation curve and is very useful for studying the binding process of oxygen. So as I said before, the binding happens in the alveoli where the PO2 is high, PCO2 is less, hydrogen ion concentration is less, and the temperature is less, and the dissociation happens in the tissues where the PO2 is less, PCO2 is high, and hydrogen ion concentration is also high, and also the temperature is high. So every 100 ml of blood can deliver about 5 ml of oxygen. This is also a very important part. Now guys, it is very important for us to study the transportation of oxygen because it is asked almost every year in many of the competitive exams and also in the school examinations. So it is very important for us to learn and remember the transportation of oxygen. Now coming to the transportation of carbon dioxide. How is carbon dioxide transported in our body? The same way oxygen is transported in our body, carbon dioxide also follows the same method. So carbon dioxide also binds with the hemoglobin in a reversible manner, and it does not form oxyhemoglobin because oxyhemoglobin is formed with the help of oxygen. Carbon dioxide binds with hemoglobin and forms carbaminohemoglobin. Now, how does this binding takes place? It is not as easy as the binding of oxygen. So RBCs, the red blood cells, basically contain a high concentration of an enzyme known as carbonic anhydrase. Carbonic anhydrase. So guys, please remember this name. And minute amounts of this carbonic anhydrase is also present in the plasma. So the carbonic anhydrase is the enzyme which helps in the binding of carbon dioxide with hemoglobin. So this plays a very important role in the binding of carbon dioxide with hemoglobin. So this is a equation that we need to remember. So basically in the tissues there is a formation of HCO3 plus hydrogen ions with the help of carbonic anhydrase, and in the alveoli there is a formation of carbon dioxide and water so that the carbon dioxide can be released out in the atmosphere. So guys, please do remember this equation as it is very important and can be asked in 1 markers. So as every 100 ml of blood delivers 5 ml of oxygen, every 100 ml of blood delivers 4 ml of carbon dioxide, which is 1 ml less than that of oxygen. So guys, this was the end of today's video. Before I go, I would like to give you guys the bonus question. So the bonus question of the day is, explain the sigmoid curve and why is it important to study the sigmoid curve. So as I have said before, the first person to answer this bonus question in the comment section below will be featured in my next video and will definitely be appreciated by me. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from this video. I will be coming back with part 4 in which we will be discussing all the important questions of this chapter. Also, we will be discussing about some of the disorders of the respiratory system. So please stay tuned. Also, like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so. Please do not forget to turn on the post notification bells. Also, if you have any doubt regarding this chapter or the previous chapter, that is chapter 16 named digestion and absorption, please do not hesitate to ask your doubts in the comment section below. I will definitely reply to each and every comment that I get. Also, if you have not checked out our digestion and absorption series, please do check it out. I will definitely link the videos down in the description below. And please do stay tuned to my channel for the important question answers of this chapters. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy.